ever just hit the stream button, feel like everything just works too easily? Looks good. I don't know. That just looked way too easy. This gives me problems. Alright. This is kind of interesting. It's like Gix, but not as good. Oh, I didn't know this was a card. Cool. What even is that? Have I played with this yet? I don't think I have. So, creature reanimate, spam. Does this work with your commander? It's a skeleton, no abilities, so you reanimate it, and then it comes back, and then you can then give it abilities. So I guess it does technically work. Why would I care about this, though? I feel like I don't actually care about it. Maybe I don't know, it's interesting. It's kind of weird, though. Let's say we do it for 2. Toughness 2 or less. If X is 6, reanimate something. I'm not sure. Hello. This actually kills most things in Historic Brawl. It's funny. So if I put this on Death's Shadow, could actually steal your opponent's turn very quickly. But stealing an early turn is it's not that scary. Do they get an extra turn after that? No, they do not. Another thing that's good with my commander, and specifically Death Shadow, but black does not need cards like this, really. They just don't need to run it. It is a tap land. It's also not a swamp, yeah. Hmm. I think that's really. I mean, maybe you could play this, but you could just also play Gix instead. I mean, it's a new card, but still. Can you get away with this in standard? I feel like you're losing out on way too many cards. Probably not. Okay. Actually, you know what? Is this a mythic? Oh no, it's a common. It's non-black, right? No, it's just straight up fog. I thought black darkness was prevent all combat damage that we've dealt this turn. I thought darkness was what am I thinking of? Bad Moon? Maybe I'm thinking of Bad Moon. I could have swore this was non-black. What do we reanimate in standard? Am I gonna be silly and put big things with Buried Alive? Well, I would imagine, yeah. I don't know if that would be silly. I feel like that's something you kind of have to do. It's part of the entire premise of this commander is to cast Buried Alive. So if you reanimate the creature with a cheat death, I suppose you get it back for real. Reclamation might be funny. Yeah, you don't have Death Shadow outside of Historic Brawl. I'm actually kind of curious. Hold on. Save and exit. What does it look like in Standard? Boom. What are the... Does it show you? It does? Okay. So... What are we losing? Dark Ritual. Death Shadow. There's no Buried Alive. There's no Reanimate. There's no Thoughtseize. There's no Inquisition. Oh boy. Yeah, there's no Chthonian Nightmare either. I'm not sure if this is doable. I also don't know what the standard Brawl meta is. It could just not care at all about what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay. Not liking the options right now. Really, that's it? Damn. Okay, yeah, I don't think I like Standard Brawl for this commander. I don't like really anything it's doing in Standard. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, I don't think I saved it. Yeah, I didn't save it, okay. I don't like Stitcher Supplier. Never been a fan of that card. What about this? Does this work? No, this doesn't work, right? It's just a vehicle. Ugh. Unearth. I can unearth my commander, I guess. I've seen a Cursed Marauder in this commander, which I kind of don't agree with, but it sort of works. There's a lot of good removal. You don't really have to play that card. I could Dark Ritual, I'm sure. I mean, Dark Confidant. This discards? No, it exiles. Cruel Claw's Heist has been meh. Feels like it's been meh. We do fill the graveyard, but we also don't want to get rid of the graveyard. But I am a fan of Feed the Cycle. We'll see what we look like. Can probably play that one. Heartless Act is probably at its worst right now, given the amount of stuff that splashes counters. Like green decks just kind of randomly sprinkle them in. Persist? There's some good persist targets. What about Rezug? What would I make an artifact that would be good? Like Shieldred? But you have to cast it though. It's not like it's free. It's only your graveyard. It's only black colorless creatures. This might not be the deck for it. Spectacle with enough removal? Sign in Blood is okay. At least black can play a ton of cards that are cheap. Reanimating Gix is weird, but if I'm consistently attacking with things, it's alright. We can't hyper-focus. Oh, Liliana's actually fine. Yeah, this is actually really good. Okay. Maybe this one too, sort of. The Nazguls. The Nazguls can give me a draw discard with the ring, but it takes 3 of them? No, it just takes 2 of them to draw a discard with the 1 ring, which gives me like stuff in the graveyard. Murderous Rider is Murderous Rider. Can't really go wrong with Phyrexian Arena. Toxic Deluge. Alright, search. Grave Breaker. Let me 5 mana 4/4. Ugh. Simply bin something. This is a lot of mana for something that is really not that great. It technically makes Rizug's ability 1 mana cheaper. I don't think that matters too much though. Hard to not play Creation. What am I missing? Oh, Dirge. There it is. Oh yeah, the 4 mana snake mom. That's right. Maybe. It's got Death Touch. It has to exactly be X plus 1. So I can't sack a 4 into 6. I'd rather just play Victimize then. Can't be blocked by Glimmers. Okay. Guess. Again, it depends how much removal I've got going on. Does not look like a magic card. It's just that the Duskmourn set has these weird cards in it. I guess it's not as bad as that weird cheerleader card. Greater mana value. Yeah, it's got that mid-range idea to it. That's fine. What's Razor Demon? Wait, how do you get them out of your graveyard? It just happens. Alright, so what is this doing? When you cast it, target opponent drafts, and they must cast that card without... Wait, they may cast it without... Wait, what? Wait, my brain. When you cast it, your opponent drafts. Alright, so what does your opponent get? They get a Dark Bargain, Demonic Pact, or an Ever After. Okay, so if your opponent gets Ever After, you probably lose, right? Oh, they choose. So you can't, I can't cast this. Yeah, oh, this one actually is still pretty good for your opponent as well. Yeah, you can't cast this card, so I don't... If you could force the Demonic Pact on them, that'd be kind of neat. I mean, it would be a little broken, though. I think that would be kind of dumb. It's like, oh yeah, your opponent has a 4-turn clock now. They have to kill you before they just lose. Like, that's just stupid. But, yeah, the other two are not good. Like, this one is lights out. You just... I can't cast it, so I don't know what I'm doing with it. Oh, I can pitch with this. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Do need a creature, but I need my commander anyways. This could matter. I'm getting the Razor Demon from the graveyard? guess. But it doesn't matter if it costs 3 or 25 mana with my commander. It doesn't matter. I literally can't cast this. So it's completely dead in my hand if it's in my hand. So I don't know. You cast this, you lose. that's my take. You cast it, you lose. Your opponent drafts, you lose a game. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's other like giant scary things. I don't know why it has to cost 3 mana. Like Rotting Regisaur is just better in every way. Right? I actually want to discard sometimes, and it plays that weird role of a giant cheap creature, which, I mean, Dark Ritualing out Rotting Regisaur is no longer scary, unfortunately, but you can sometimes do it. But it's not really something 99% of decks care about. I would argue Llanowar Elves is actually just better than a turn 1 7/6. I think Elvish Mystic is actually better than a 7/7. Full stop. No hyperbole. Alright, what are our creature options? Yeah, if your opponent casts Ever After, they don't even care about your 7/7. They just, like, there's no... Your opponent got the better of the 2 spells. You got a 7/7 flyer, and your opponent just reanimates 2 creatures that might have just 2-for-1'd you, or 3-for-1'd you if you had killed them earlier in the game. And then some opponents will win immediately, like Slimefoot and Squee would win immediately. Anything that wants to reanimate would win immediately. They could take the tutor, find a card that is crucial. But I don't expect anyone would take the Demonic Pact. Unless they're already winning. That's, yeah, if you give them the Pact, and then they just kill you with the 4 damage, you actually can't cast it if you're under 4 life. Or under 5 life. It would be cool. Actually, you know what? I would play it if it was swapped. If your opponent got the 3 mana 7/7, and you drafted the spell, right? And your opponent gets the 7/7. I actually think the card is, like, actually better in that regard. They get a 7/7 flying token, and you get a 3 mana version of one of those spells. I truly believe your opponent always gets the better of the deal there. They also get the choice. You don't force the choice. Very strange card. I'm sure there's a reason why I've not once seen anyone play it. So if you reanimate a Saga, it just comes back as a creature without a text box. I don't think it entered... Does it see itself with no... Let's see. After 4. So I guess it doesn't sack itself, but I think it sees itself as a Saga, and then it, like, will put... It'll enter with a thing on it, but it won't get more. It'll just sit with 1 Saga token. I could be completely wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It'll just sit and play with 1 Saga token counter. Yeah, it's just a 9/9. Yeah, it won't have any of the text on it, but I wasn't sure if it enters with a counter. I guess not. New rules? Okay. It doesn't matter, it just... Like, it doesn't fundamentally change anything. Just wasn't sure. So... I think these 2 are kind of the best to pull out of the graveyard with Reanimate. And that's about it. That's all I've got on that end. Although I do think simply having this is okay, 13/13, as an option. This deck would love red cards. Which really sucks, because draw discard would be just so good here. Another issue is I don't like... Ooh, Obliterator. Hello. I don't like a lot of my options. What about you? I haven't played with this before. From a graveyard. I need to get a 5/5 version of it. I have not played with this. I guess it works, but we don't necessarily have to go that direction. What makes this cheaper? If your life total is less than your starting life total. Okay, just less than your starting. I kind of want to not play Mana Rocks. The what? Why do I want this? What is this doing? I don't know why I want this. Conjure. Sure. What am I? Why do I want that? I don't think I want that for any reason. We have grief, so the cheat death cards are interesting. They're also just interesting anyways with our commander. So, what does this one do? Sure. I mean, I don't really gain any life, so it would be kind of hard to use the sanguine bonds that are not even in my hand. They're just randomly in the next 15 cards. It's just I don't know. It's the 15 cards, right? A card named at random. Yeah, like if it's 15 cards down, I don't think you're ever getting to it, right? Even if it's the next 5, just like any tutor, any shuffle effect, why aren't you just simply playing Sanguine Bond itself for the combo? You want the Sanguine Bond combo? Just play Sanguine Bond. It's just not doing anything. Oh, right, the lands. I forgot. I don't really care about Phyrexian Tower here. This deck currently has problems. Oh boy. See Felda Profane all over the place. All over the place these days. Whoop. Why is this not? Oh, is it? Was it? It is. Okay, I was just tripping. There's the draw discard thing. Oh yeah, Cabal Stronghold, sure. How much mana is this? Yeah. What's the draw discard thing? It's not Gavity Challenge ship, it's pretty sure it's got like an Innistrad town in the art. Fomori Volt discards anything, right? Discard a card, look at the top X. X number artifacts you control. Alright, so it would simply just discard cards, and I don't know, it's a colorless land, it's probably free. It's a little deep though, but I mean, it sure does have text on it. It's also exceedingly slow, and probably wrong, but it's a monocolor deck. I'm gonna try. Scrapyard is another one. Slightly more reasonable. I don't think this is a Nykthos deck. It's slowly becoming an absolutely not Phyrexian Obliterator deck, I'll say that much. Tragic. I still don't like Strip Mine. I haven't quite been sold on it. There's no real reason to play Urborg. I mean, I can play Urborg. I feel like on average my opponent gets more out of it than I do, but maybe it's just fine. I've come to like this land. Winning random coin flips is actually kind of funny. What's the draw discard land? Sanitarium? Yeah, Gyre Reach. No, Gyre Reach Sanitarium, that's it. It is from Innistrad. I remember things. Sometimes. An enchantment that gives your skeletons haste? Oh, I don't think I care about that, but sure, yeah, if you want to... Oh yeah, Emperor's Bones. When this enters, make a skeleton. End step, if you descend it, pay life, return this enchantment to it. I really don't think I want to give my skeletons haste here. That's not... I'm more concerned about actually making any kind of skeleton before anything like this has the slightest chance of mattering. Because I currently am not convinced I'm making my first skeleton. I'm not quite even there on that. Demonic Embrace is actually kind of scary, right? He can fly in there with something. But I can't really put it on my commander and also attack. So maybe it's not that great. I can't discard with Necropotence in play. I can with Necrodominance. I've yet to actually craft that. Wait, what does Dominance do? If a card or token to be put in your... Oh, Rip wouldn't work either. I only like Fear of Ridicule as a... Wait, is it the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, as a Dark Ritual thing? Don't really care about it outside of a Dark Ritual turn one kind of thing. But I don't know if I can make room for that. The planet? I don't have the planet. No, I don't have the planet. Ripples is interesting. Yeah, that's another way to do it. There's the artifacts that draw a discard. Should have just looked up. Wait, what? Oh, these are rares. No, these are just the enchantments. Okay. Bag of Holding. Smuggler's Copter. Is there one that costs 1 to activate? Oh, Celestius is just in general okay, maybe. Okay, this deck is not looking good right now. Not gonna lie to you. I am not gonna even make room for that. I don't care if it's new. Need to try to actually win. Wait, I didn't mean to actually put this in here. Alright. Yeah, I didn't. I don't actually want that. I don't know how that got in there. Where's the... Yeah, this kind of works. Yeah, we have Collector's Vault. Oh, wait, no, we have Fomori Vault. Oh, yeah, this... There it is. There it is. This is the one that was, like... Right, yeah. This does feel... The draw discard spells are not really that good here, but if I have to rely on them, we're in some serious trouble. This does not look like a deck that's going to win anything. What is Persist doing? I don't think Persist is doing anything, actually. Not really. What's the crew in the Bronco? 3? Alright, no Dark Confidant, no Bronco. The monocolored jump impacts have the planet lands? What? The heck is a jump impact? These things? Oh, whoops, Bag of Holding doesn't work. It exiles it. My bad. How do you even do that? I've never used, well, maybe I have, just don't remember. How do you use a jump in token? I don't want to do a whole stupid draft, though, or anything. Wait. I don't know how to navigate this. I'm old. La 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 la. This thing? The heck is a jump-in event? Oh. This thing? The kit. Well, this isn't... Wait, this is alchemy, though. Oh, my nose. Please. So do you have to play anything? Or do you immediately get to keep the cards that you grab? Or do I have to, like, finish the event? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to click it anyways. I don't remember the last time I've ever done this. Do we know what's in these? Should I grab the black one? Each packet is 20 cards, including... So, like, you just keep these cards forever? Can you see what's in them? I'm sure it's not random. I played this as the midweek thing, actually, right? I ran out of time before I got the third win. I'm pretty sure the blue-black one had one of the planets in it. The deck contents are online. Alright, well, of the ones that I'm aware of, this one had stuff I didn't own, so I guess I'll start with that one. Oh no, there's zombie and zombies. That... Alright, Internet, what am I doing? Why is there two zombie ones? What's going on here? Oh wow, there's a ton of them. Whoa! Alright, what does this one got? Raceway, Raceway, Raceway. And then this one has Evolving Wilds. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Only monocolored ones? Oh, rip. What is oh, now I should have just looked. Synthesize. What do you have in you? I'm going to... Hey, no, it does. It's got the blue one. It's got the blue planet. Alright, so these are race car ones, and this is the foundations. Of the zombie ones, neither do anything for me, right? No, they don't. What about this one? Nope. And then fueled up. Just the raceway lands again. Yeah, they don't do anything. Okay. So I can just take whichever. I guess I'll grab the... This one has a Dreadhorde General in it. That's nuts. Oh, I mean, I can actually just take one depending on which I think will win more games. Like actually playing the jump in thing specifically. I do like the Liliana, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, no, it's just I think we just grabbed that one. Okay, so I just have this now? Is that how that works? Cool. Look at that. Okay, I already had 3 of these, but... Oh, that's pretty neat. I never knew that. I knew it was with the draft tokens, but I thought jumping for, like, new players, and they just let you sort of play around with whatever. I didn't know they let you keep it. That's honestly quite unexpected. Sure. Well, now I know that. We'll have to keep that in mind. And also actually play that at some point, I guess. Surprised I never knew that. I think I've done the jump-in tokens just to get rid of them. I don't recall keeping the cards, though. Alright, so all the problems this deck has, not easily amendable. But maybe that's okay, because when my opponent was playing this, well, one of my opponents, or, yeah, playing against this, that's what I should have said. Playing against this, I've noticed that people aren't casting it quickly. It just sort of sits there and doesn't do anything. So I suppose I should go in with that expectation. I will struggle to hardcast giant things, but I don't think I'm comfortably making room for... I don't like Emperor of Bones, actually. For ramp spells. Like, playing Mana Rocks is a big chunk of my deck that's dedicated to just doing that. I don't really like that. And actually, the deck doesn't get too expensive anyways. Gix doesn't really do anything here. I can run the room instead. I feel like Gix just isn't accomplishing much. I don't have this wide swath of cheap early creatures. Let me use the internet. We have the internet. Alright, what are people's ideas? I don't agree with this. Apparently people like this. I'm not sold on it. Yeah, that makes sense there. Oh, wait, what's this do? Hey, the Skeleton Haste Enabler card is actually in 70% of this deck. That's nuts. I don't even like it. Sure. Sacking creatures is interesting, but I can't really find any that I'd like to sacrifice. Like, if I play Disciple of Bullet... Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's slow down. Yeah, we don't have Disciple of Bolas, right? Am I tripping? Oh, we do. Okay, so we could play this and then sack stuff like Rotting Regisaur, or Desecration Demon. So like 4 mana 6/6s can get me somewhere, and then sacking them to stuff like this. So what if I was like that and 4 mana 6/6s? Where's my main man? Desecration Demon, there you are. What about you? What do you do? Random card becomes annoying out of hand. It's like, these are funny to cast, I don't lose the game when I cast them, and then if my opponent kill... Oh, actually, I do lose the game. I cast this one. And if my opponent kills them, I can make them 6/6 skeletons. And I think there's something there. What about this one? Is this possible? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I do like some 4-mana 6/6. What's his name? Wait, what does this do? Whenever someone... Wait, an opponent casts, they get a blood token. Huh. This is really weird. It doesn't look like a 5/6 in the art. It just looks like a normal, like, vampire. But it's just massive for some reason. Maybe he's just really tall. I don't know. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they get a blood token. Sure. And then whenever this attacks, it gets stuff for each blood token. But they haven't, like, let's say they haven't used it. I don't really like giving my opponent blood tokens, but maybe that's okay. Making this come back as a 5/6 skeleton is also just sort of okay. It's on the... I put it sort of in the flying 4-mana chunky boys. Okay, that's something. Alright, what else? What else, internet? What do you got for me? What does that do? Sack a creature, make zombies where it's its power. That is extremely slow. Wait, they cost 5 too? Ooh! Ghoul call. It's a mythic? Oh! It's not a mythic on paper. Get wrecked. Sacking. I mean, this is a 5-minute card that has to tap, so it doesn't do anything when you play it. It's probably not viable, but it's definitely not viable if it's 5-minute anyways, and a mythic, so not viable as a mythic. I actually do not like Death Baron. I don't care at all if the zombies have, or if the, well, I guess zombies too, but the skeletons have Death Touch. I just don't care about that. Oh, they reprinted Death Baron in Foundations. I forgot. Look at that. It used to be like a $20 card because it had one version of it. It's the only Skeleton Lord. Really cool card. Could easily play Jet Medallion. I think that one's just fine to get away with. If I took out Ancient Tomb, you think we lower our bracket? You think? Probably not. It is technically the only quote-unquote game changer. It's also $100. What is that doing? What the? Sack a creature? Oh, alright. It's just a giant stupid threat. Alright, cool. That's kind of neat. What is the... Wait, what if this dies as a 3/3? I can... Yeah, look at the prototype cards, actually. I can't really get this to die. So this dying as a 3/3, coming back as a 7/5 is interesting. What about you? What do you do? I've never seen this in my life. 7-mana 8/5. Oh, cool. It just like reanimate stuff. Oh, that's really neat. Wow, I've not once seen that. Yeah, we can try that. I would probably try this one too, but I don't have it. What about this one? play it turn 2, it comes back as like a random 5/4. This feels kind of underwhelming to me. Does like your opponent ever care about some 5/4 you've played? Probably not. It's definitely a card you could maybe think about, though. I have never seen anyone play the one I don't own before. We don't have Phyrexian Dreadnought, right? That's not in the game. I didn't directly look for that one. We don't have Leveler. Though I don't know how you cast Leveler. How do you cast that? That's weird. Yeah, why would you play Leveler? When it enters, you lose your whole library. Why would you play that? 5-mana 10/10, but like, you lose your library. How do you how do you actually play that? I don't get it. I do not get that. 5-mana 10/10, when it comes into play, remove your library from the game. Like, you cast it and then you lose your library, but if the only way to get it into play is to reanimate it with your commander, then it doesn't matter if it costs 5. It seems like it doesn't have any real meaning. The Black Overlord. Puts them back to my hand. I don't think I want the cards in my hand, right? There's the Rot Curse thing, the Decayed thing. Yeah, this guy. This one's solid, at least. Forgot about that one. Oh, wow, really? Withering Torment is the most played black card? That's wild. I mean, it's enchantment removal, right? Fair enough. Just really funny. Sacrifice could be cool. You don't normally play that. Well, I don't normally play it, but I do own it. It in its goofy looking art. Yeah, they're just. Oh, it's not that goofy, actually. Could play this. The problem is I'm sacking things. I don't have a ton of things to really sacrifice. Like, if I sack one of my 4-mana demon things, and then I mean, I don't know. It's got possibilities, but I also... I don't know. Overlord is a May. Oh, well, I guess that makes it more interesting. Makes it a little bit more interesting, at least. Later on in the game, it has some value to it, I'd say. Okay. I think it's better than it was a second ago. What else are we working with here? Wouldn't play that. That's here. That's in there. I do have that. I don't need it. I don't need that. What about Mana Rocks? That's in half. Jeez, that's not a good sign. Oh, Whip of Erebos. Yeah, okay. Palantir mills, but it doesn't mill a lot. Your opponent will start to let you draw. Maybe you could just play it instead of Phyrexian Arena, though. Looks like that is what people do, in fact, do, is they play that. Oh, no, wait, no, I lied. That's in there as well. Black Market Connections is a real card now, right? Yep, there it is. Wow, Black Market Connections is almost $20. Crazy. Well, I guess it actually isn't crazy, but, you know. Yeah, drawing cards is fine, I guess. I am seeing Reliquary Tower as a tech land, which is a bit weird to me, but sure. It could just make sense to do that. Alright, so now we gotta make room for cards. Alright, what is just really... I'm not liking this, actually. I don't like that one. I'll play this because I haven't done it, but I don't really like this. I don't need Sign in Blood anymore. Hmm. I could. So, okay. Arden doesn't do anything unless I have another scary creature. And I also don't actually have a way to reanimate this other than, like, reanimate. And I don't expect myself to hardcast it. So maybe I should just take those cards out. Yeah, I'm going to take out Gristlebrand Arden. They don't really do that much unless I specifically have reanimate. Because I'm not feeling like I'm going to ever actually hardcast them. I do have Creation of Avacyn, actually, as another line to get them in play. But I also have other things I can creation anyways, and I don't have to play the other weird stuff for the off chance I have it. What is Chthonian Nightmare doing? It's 3 energy? No, there's stuff to do. It doesn't work with the 4 mana cards, though, so... I mean, it kind of does, but you have to, like, spare yourself energy. And there's just not a lot to do. Yeah, there's not a lot to do in this deck with this, I think. The more I look at it. I do like Rotting Regisaur and stuff. But, like, there's just not anything going on with it, really. Yeah, alright. Oh, yeah, I also have Assemble from Parts. Can I craft the... Okay. Alright, no Phyrexian Reclamation. Probably should run Final Parting. Can win the game sometimes. I still don't like a Cursed Marauder. I saw this played in this deck before against me. I just don't know why. There's like a lot of really good removal. You can sack your own creature and reanimate it, so there's some value there if you want to get rid of your own this thing. Oh, well, maybe not that one, but like, oh, maybe not that one. This one, like, sack it and then bring it back as a skeleton. Might be fine. Yeah, maybe the Marauder's just good enough. It can sometimes kill something like Tifa as well, so it's got lines to it. All right, super close. Super close. This commander is not easy. Fomori Volt does not find an artifact. It simply discards cards. That seems like not a good idea. Actually, how many lands are in here? 40? How many MDSCs? 1? I can shave a swamp. Bloop. Oh, we're so close. What is this doing? So if I put this on my commander, say it's on a 3-drop. 3-drop dies. Creature with greater mana value dies, return it. So this can just sort of be annoying, but I don't have that mid-range 1/2/3 black creature style beatdown situation going on here. I don't even have Sephiroth. What is Cityscape Leveler doing? It's just an 8/8? Yeah, alright. No Leveler. Virtue of Persistence could come in here. I don't hate either side of Virtue. Probably should come in here. Mainly killing the early green problems could just make it worthwhile. He's out leveling cityscapes, I guess so. Well, not my city. Not this time. Not this time. What does Bailout do? Maybe I don't want the flail. The flail doesn't work unless I have some kind of creature in play. It doesn't draw me cards either. I'm gonna just not run the flail. I'm just gonna not run it. What are you doing? I don't have Gristlebrand. I think Shieldred is still just okay. Curve is 3 exactly. Shave 2 lands like a greedy person, because I want to play the game. We'll figure out real quick what's bad anyways. Alright, we're here with Xu-Ifit, Osteoharmonist. Oof. 3 mana 2/3. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton, but it has no abilities. But there's no casting cost, so you can just put whatever's in your graveyard into play. So early large threats like Death Shadow, well, actually just simply casting this, I think could just go straight to the graveyard sometimes, and then boom, you tap it, and now you have a 13/13 skeleton. Skeletons don't have trample. They don't have menace. There's an enchantment that gives your skeletons haste. I'm not currently playing it. I'm vastly more concerned about trying to make any kind of skeleton in the first place before I'm worried about giving the skeletons additional text. So the 4-mana slot's interesting. You got like Desecration Demon and all Desecration Demon's cousins of just 4-mana 6/6s and whatnot that have a downside, but when they just inevitably die or whatever, if they don't die, you're just beating up your opponent with them. But if they do die, you just get these rather quickly 6/6s. Now, it's not super fast, right? These cost 4. This is Historic Brawl. I actually tried to make this work in Standard, and I looked at my options, and I did not like my options to play a 60-card version of this in Standard. I just felt like I was falling farther behind relative to my opponents, who would then not fall as far behind in power level as this commander does. So I think I'm just going to do Historic Brawl. We got just vastly more interesting things going on there. The format itself is rather restrictive of what you can just sort of do, right? It's kind of like playing goofy stuff in a Legacy League where you're just going to play against the Merfolk reagents or the reagent Drake and all that stuff, DRCs and Lightning Bolt, Force of Will. Like you're it's kind of pretty cool tools here, but this might deviate a little too far from your expected opponents' matchups. So I don't know, it feels a little out there. It could be difficult, but there's another issue where I didn't feel like I ever had room, or I just don't have room, really, to do what I want to do on top of Mana Rocks, so the big things could just struggle to get into play outside of being reanimated with this, and that's kind of ugly, but that's just kind of where we are. I don't even really know if some of these are right. I do like this as a sometimes maybe thing I can reanimate, or Creation of Avacyn. That might be interesting. But like Phyrexian Fleshgorger is a 3-mana 3/3, and then when it dies, it is now a 7/5 with no text with our commander, and that seems kind of alright. I'm not really... I don't know how often that this is going to be super scary, but if you do cast it, I'm sure, just like most commanders, your opponent's just super interested in killing it, and if that's a Lightning Rod, I could actually change how the deck plays some of the contents in here and play something closer to what maybe Davriel would do, or something like that. Because it's definitely not anything like Sephiroth. I don't even have Sephiroth in here. The 1/2/3 drop creature beatdown with Gix package, which takes up like 80 cards in your black strategies, mono black strategies, it's just not in here. You can target yourself with this and discard things. I do have like Vault. I took out the land that just simply discarded a card to look for an artifact for more Revolt. It just was simply discarding a card for like nothing other than this, just to pitch one of these. And maybe that is just right to do, but I mean, currently I just didn't feel like that was good enough. I do have Phyrexian Scrapyard and Gaia Reach Sanitarium at least, so those are interesting. And then the old coin flip till we win a coin flip. But yep, all right, let's just play the game. I don't know. I do not know. Can we do these? Green or red? Nope. Rip. No quests today. All right, it's gonna be probably an incredible uphill battle. But we'll put in our best foot forward. What the heck is Princess Sarah? What? Oh, it's just Azusa. Okay. Alright. I don't think I've ever seen this. At least played. I've seen this, I just don't. I recognize it now. It's literally Azusa. Alright, so The first matchup is the mono green ignores you thing. I can survive, maybe, because I'm on the play and I can kill the 1 mana card. They don't have it. Probably end up cycling Unearth. It looks like I'm going to cycle Unearth. Double tap land is kind of crazy, huh? Double tap land. Killing a 1 mana card here is now irrelevant. Liliana. Is that better than my commander or this? This can bail me out of most of the problems my opponent could present. Yeah, let's just start here, actually. Let's just start here. And get rid of the one I can't cast ever. Alright, well, they didn't have a 1-drop, and I was on the play, so we might be able to do something. It is a Zuza. It does sort of need it out of hand, unlike the other green things. It needs the thing to do, like just simply out of the hand. Okay, I only have 1 land. That's ideal. Makes trying to even kill this not really interesting. I mean, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. We'll see. They actually got rid of a ramp spell. Strange. No lands in hand. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Again, there were no lands in their hand. Alright, they top-decked a land. I lost my entire graveyard, so rip that in whole thing. What does this do? Yeah. What? Okay, I guess my opponent was holding lands for Xu-Ifit, but they didn't cast it. That, to me, doesn't really make any sense. So, well, now we lose to Xu-Ifit, basically instantly. I literally can't do anything against Xu-Ifit. I just straight up lost the game to it. They had another... What? I'm so confused. I don't mill any creatures. And maybe they have to kill Scute to kill my commander? Okay. I mean, to be fair, I don't even know if Liliana would do anything anyways, so... Yeah, they just decided that they weren't going to play lands with Azusa, I guess. For whatever reason. Alright. Glad to see nothing I do matters. That's great. I'm gonna just swing with the Overlord. There is no reason to put that to my hand. Decay counter on... Okay, that doesn't really do anything. Let's plus... I mean, I don't even feel like playing anymore. It's like... Nothing matters. Toxic Deluge is in this deck. If I went with the creation, like I said, probably could have just simply bailed me out, but I actually don't even know. I do not know. But the line I took obviously doesn't do anything. So, didn't do anything. This hand is really, really weird, but I guess the deck is weird. So... Alright. Excellent. I'm so glad I'm not a brony. I'm so glad. Hey, it's not mono green, so it's all good. I kind of hope they name my commander. I wasn't really aiming to play it anytime soon, so that I think that worked out. Let's play this card. Oh, alright. Well, they didn't kill this thing, so I have that. Although I kind of want to just actually cast it for real, so I might just not play it this turn, just play it the turn after. Might just do that. That's actually good. Yeah. I'm just not going to play the Overlord. I can just hardcast it next turn. Do we want Chrome Mox? Maybe. It is almost the same as simply taking a land out. Okay. Mill things. I don't want any of that, so I can stay in the graveyard. Let's cast our 5/5 here. That was the plan. I can pick up Murderous Rider. It has value. Hopefully that wasn't my last chance to like really get a valuable Thoughtseize in. What if I just took the damage? Yeah, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it. It doesn't kill me. I have the life to spare here, and I don't want to get Lightning Bolted, so... Grief is unfortunately really good here. So I'm going to put that to my own. And I'm going to do the thing. With Grief, I'm going to pitch Thoughtseize, because that's what Grief is doing. Wait a minute. Hold on. What if I just... Opponent appears to have Swords of Plowshares. Why do you have to have that? Alright, well, I think this is forced. So. It's looking like Swords of Plowshares. I can Thoughtseize first? That seems counterproductive to the old griefing when I'm at 7. Yeah, we're just going to do this. Okay, it's not what I thought it was whatsoever. Let's well, not that one. No, this one. Okay. And then we just pass? That turn took a second there. They have nothing going on. They have 2 looks at action. I have to block at this point. Just take 4. Oh, they have 3 looks. I kind of forgot about the Lauren tap there. Okay, yeah, why not? Why not? Just top deck amazing stuff. That works. Sure works for me. Love to see it. Is there anything I can possibly do about that? Currently, not really. I can swing at it and kill it. So, sure. I quite literally have to do that. Neither of these in play does anything for me, but maybe I'll just pick this one up for the sake of it. I mean, they didn't top deck Lightning Bolt, I guess, but they kind of might as well have done that. I think there's always something that this can get, but we'll see. They could simply just pass the turn twice, actually. Oh. Alright. Or just literally top deck the best things in the universe. We got it. Yep, my opponent just top decked 100% perfect. Truly fascinating. Alright. The Brony got us. Tragic. Just top decks pure gas. Well, on the bright side, I didn't lose anything from the curse they played turn 1, because my commander wasn't going to do anything. There are not a lot of good heists in this deck that synergize with other people's decks. Ah, yes, Dark Ritual. Excellent. Well, yep. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I'm not gonna grief here. I really feel like that has a lot of merit. Let's get rid of that. Now I kind of want to grief so they don't hit me with this bird thing. Yeah, let's grief now. Get rid of this thing. I don't need it. I just don't want that to win the game against me for free. I'll pick up the grief. I won't recast it though. Well, they need something to do, so yeah, why not just top deck that? No, they cannot cast the... No, you shouldn't have cast that. You just gave it to me. That's a huge mistake. Alright, well, on the bright side, they just gave me something that they really should not have done. So we take those. We could probably get rid of grief here. I just don't... Actually, let's get rid of Shieldred. There is no way that's doing anything. So, gonna just do the thing they gave me? For some reason. And hardcast grief. Is this the part where we lose to our random heisted creature? The random heist was just the best thing? Let's find out. Oh, it was in fact not the best thing. Look at that. Yep, you're right. You just gave me a 13/13 for no reason. Excellent. Real nice. Look at that. Alright, we're on the board. I'm going to run Chromox. And after having seen this card in my hand, I'm going to take it out. That one. There we go. Could probably also sort of play Mox Amber. But I don't really know. But Chromox is just... This feels like a Chromox deck. It's also good to maybe get rid of the complete trash in my hand, like a giant, uncastable, dumb thing. Oh look, it's Azusa again. No way. I have nothing going on except Overlord Reanimate. Alright, whatever. Let's see it. It's not like I'm gonna win against this in an honest way, so... Like, ever. There is no conceivable world where I win in an honest matchup. Of course, they have the unkillable ramp spell, too. Another Urward player. I don't know why this is happening. I didn't hit a creature whatsoever, so no reanimate. Next attempt at doing anything remotely relevant, I guess, would be Liliana plussing and my opponent losing something scary out of hand. Do I get rid of the bracelet? I don't know. There's a chance I draw something that would make me not want to do that. Okay. Do I just get rid of a land here? Yeah, I think that's fine. Opponent gets rid of a land. Okay. Excellent news. Okay. Alright, they didn't have it. This is the weak side of Azusa, where if it doesn't have what it needs out of hand, it looks pretty bad. Alright, so we can just do that, that, and that. Yeah, all things we just don't want to draw. And put this in play. No, the minus is actually kind of ugly. I'm just gonna plus. I'm gonna keep plussing. It's an avenue I just should allow myself to have. I wonder if they block. You probably should block, yeah, because this... No guarantee your 0-3 is more value than that. Yeah, block as well. Okay, plus again, there's no reason to kill Azusa. Alright, so we have recurring 13-13 skeletons at this point. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that... I mean, they already had Omniscience, but... Now they can do other things, I guess. Bunch of lands. Typical outcome from an Azusa player. It's like 55 lands in Azusa, I think, something like that. I mean, yeah, they already had Omniscience, basically. Victimize. Wow. Really good hit there. That was a phenomenal hit, actually. One of the best cards I could have asked for. Okay, I found poop. Let's plus get rid of cut down. Looking kind of not great here. Swing with the old summoned giant spaghetti monster. I can turn the... I think I might just actually victimize the 9/9. Yeah, I think we're gonna victimize the 9/9. And then just bring it back as a skeleton. I know it has my opponent deep in thought, but you got it. Yeah, this is just stats. Stats, stats, stats. You're right there, Azusa? Opponent's deep in thought about who knows what. Deep in thought about losing, I guess. So they need to top deck something, and they have 2 looks at it? I think? Nope. Alright. Get wrecked. Look at that. Land, land, land. Yeah, this is where Azusa looks just abysmal when you don't have the card you need out of hand. It can draw more than 1 card a turn. I mean, they kind of were doing that with the... oh, they had Strip Mine is funny with Crucible. They could have blown up a lot of my lands here, but, I mean, it's too late. But, yeah, there's not... doesn't look very good when you don't draw the thing. I'll say that. Unlike the other mono green commanders that don't have to have the thing in their hand. Azusa Strip Mine is nuts with the Crucible effects. I'm sure that's why I'm seeing a bunch of Azuzas now. Because Strip Mine's in the game. Can I do something for 3 turns? No. This is better? This is not amazing, though. Let's try to not play the Malakir Rebirth as a land. Though there's a moderate chance I end up doing it anyways. Let's see, do they do something in the first 2 turns? Most likely not, because they played 2 blue sources, so we know what that means. Oh, wait, nope, they actually did something. Look at that. Look at that. Look at them go. Yeah, we're gonna cast our commander. We're just gonna do it. It's not very likely to do anything, but I'm just going to cast it. Oh, I got nothing else to do. Oh, cool! I didn't lose to my opponent's cards. Meta Drain. Do they have Reanimate? They could have Reanimate. Okay, I lost my giant threats with the trawler there. Oh, I also lost the Dark Confidant. I mean the Death Shadow too. It was kind of unfortunate. Okay. I apparently can't get anything going. This doesn't amount to anything significant, so I'm just going to recast my commander. And maybe get a random do-nothing 6/6. Oh, or that gets countered as well. Opponent says good game twice. I'm not sure why. They just answer a card and I guess that means the game's over? Fascinating. It's over once they play a land, probably. Alright, they found a land, so now it's probably over. Enjoy all those GGs 10 minutes ago for no reason. You're playing Bajuka Bog saying good game. Like, what? Huh? Come again? This hand could work, but I don't know. 5-color good stuff pile probably doesn't care about that hand, so I'm not gonna try. Okay, they just didn't play their land first. That's weird. Gives me anxiety. Looks like a situation where I cycle this. We'll see. I wonder, do you think they, like, donate Cody? Is that this kind of deck? That'd be funny. They didn't cast it. They didn't cast it. They could have done that. That's quite surprising, actually. I don't know what that's about. So, nothing to do with my commander. So it's at its weakest. I shall play it. It looks incredibly innocent when I have nothing at all to do with it. Alright, so they could get a sweeper. There's not really anything I can do about that. So, I didn't draw a land, which means I can't do more than just this. Let's get you. Alright, 13, 13. You know what to do. This is the part where I just lose. Well, it is a 2-player game. I'm sure I'll be allowed to play at some point. How is this infinite extra turns? Well, they haven't shown me yet, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised. there's the next one. Alright, that was fun. I thought I was playing a two-player game, but little did I know Magic is not about that. My opponent actually didn't even need their commander. Full stop. Didn't even need to cast it. Still would have won. Still would have won all the same. Who knows? If they fizzled, we could maybe untap and cast a spell and then just pass back and lose again, so... Don't really... I'm most assuredly wasting my time at that point. Well, we got Collector's Vault. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've played that yet. Should I cast my... Yeah, why not? Opponent did play the thing that gives this haste that I cannot interact with because it's that weird one that's not a real card. I can make a 13/13 next turn, and then we can pretend like it does anything. Golos next. Yeah. Davriel doesn't play against that kind of stuff, so that's just not true. Random 5/6, get in there. I have no instant speed removal. Oh, I can't anyways, because it's got the hexproof on it, yeah. Never mind. Well, they didn't sacrifice it. Creatures you control get haste and trample. Literally doesn't matter. Already has haste. Recast my commander for no real reason. So I guess I'll just recast this for also no real reason. I mean, I could hold back a creature to stop this, but it doesn't stop what it does. It doesn't stop it, really. I guess they just don't have a land? Okay. Interesting. They also didn't... Oh, they can't target... Okay, yeah. So... Same situation? Slightly different this time? Yeah, slightly different this time. I can put into play something that doesn't bode well for the opponent at some point in the future that is not the current future. But what if I did that? Alright, so now I can just not swing. I'll just not swing here. On the off chance that I don't lose to whatever this thing randomly does. Okay, they surveilled a card. That means it's not going to do anything, right? Huge. Get wrecked. I don't feel bad at all about that one. We did it. We beat Narset. It fizzled. It whiffed. It dies, and then they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, they are dead. Alright, so they are dead, so. Huge! Look at that. We did it. They whiffed. Clear misplay. Shouldn't have whiffed. Alright, so yeah, we haven't played against Golos yet, so I guess that is next. I will say my opponent whiffing is not a sign of me winning. It's just my opponent had a fail rate that caused me to win the game. This is not a hand. This is borderline. Oh man. Okay, let's get rid of this. Actually, I probably should get rid of Grief, because I can't get rid of anything in my hand to Grief, so... Wait. That's not a... Opponent, what are you doing? I have no reason to cast Death Shadow, so I won't cast it. I don't have a major reason to cast Shieldred's Edict? Yeah, we can do this, I think. I really, really want to play this card first. Should I do that? There is a chance that is the correct thing to do, because my opponent did nothing for 2 turns. So I'm going to go ahead... Okay, wait. No, I still don't have to cast this. Alright, this didn't have to happen. Could have waited. With the Chrome Box. I feel as though the Spectacle in play is quite useful. For a multitude of reasons. Reasons that may come to become clear in the immediate future. This is also maybe an awkward turn for my opponent's commander. Which I would argue probably also works out. This is a 5/4? Yeah. Okay, Toxic Deluge. Or my commander again. My commander again. They did kill it instead of doing their commander, where I had displayed absolutely nothing to do with my commander. So that is definitely a good sign. You just didn't have anything to do with it. As far as my opponent is aware, obviously. Alright, so 4. There is no Kaya's ghost forming this, unfortunately. I could have ghost formed my commander, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's right. Alright, we did all of that just for a 13/13 on turn 5 or something. Okay, I do not have any way to stop that. Okay, my opponent just plays what I do, except it's all built into a single card. So now what? Lose the game? How do I do anything? Wait. Alright, well, I mean, yeah. Alright. There's not a lot that could be extremely problematic here, but I know I did all this setup work just to do the same thing Pac does without any setup. I mean, it's not a 13-13, but I mean, it might as well be. Oh boy, they kept a card on top. I can't wait. I can't wait to lose to it. Again, there's no Ghost Forming Death Shadow. It doesn't do anything. Alright, so now I have to perform the impossible. Which is hit my opponent again with this. I mean, the most likely thing they keep on top is just casting a removal spell, right? I think that would be reasonable. I don't know if this is going to matter in the future, so I'll crack it. Or fire it off now. Feels like this is just at its best Fatal Push, so... I doubt that's what they kept on top of their deck, though. Do we have a good number card? I don't really have a good Lively Dirge, do I? No, not really. Shield Druid's interesting. My opponent has to block no matter how you slice it, though. A Cursed Marauder? Oh! I don't have the mana. Oh, wait, yes I do. Wait, I have exactly 5. Chromox. I knew there was a reason this was in here. Get wrecked. Look at that. Look at that. We beat mono green. Look at that. Almost didn't see the line. Almost didn't see the line. Alright, that was a really good thing I Fatal Push then, because I did not have the 6th land to also kill the other blocker. Cool. Look at that. Death Shadow beating a Primeval Titan, Mythweaver Pac, Lotus Cobra, other random green things. Okay, I'm going to take out what has been just hot steaming garbage. Also, maybe the Spectacle turn was actually like Galaxy Brain instead of casting my commander. Ulamog is not really castable. I think I have too many buried alive hits. I'm gonna consult the Oracle again here. What does that do? Cycle. Ooh. Actually, that card is definitely not in the game, but... Do I have Entomb? Does anybody have Entomb? What? you talking about? Cycler. So we could run the cycle creatures. I kind of mentally eluded them. This one's okay. The cycle's for 2. These are easy includes as well. Super easy includes. They're not very scary, but like they're alright. What about this one? When you cycle this, put a death touch counter or something. That's kind of funny. Yeah, these feel slightly better than what I've done so far. Alright, so with those... Might not be an arena? Yeah, no, it is definitely not an arena. That's... I hope it never is. Alright, so let's get rid of... Unholy Annex... Ulamog. I mean, we have Mana Drain, so it's not even like Entomb is doing anything like busted that we don't have, but I would rather not see Entomb show up. It is a very, 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 very disgusting card. We don't have consistent Entomb busted things. Like, you don't always have Reanimate to go with it. Entomb in isolation is definitely not the same as Dark Ritual. But, I don't think, you know what? Honestly, if Entomb was in the game, I wouldn't be upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't really be bothered by that one. I'm sure eventually I would, but I would still have greater issue with Dark Ritual. It's just not better than Dark Ritual. Maybe it's better than Mana Drain, because Mana Drain does need your opponent to do something. So it's like kind of next to that one. Alright, what else is not... What else does not need to be in this deck? There's a ton of double black. That really hasn't been an issue yet. Let's take out Grave Expectations. I'm not even interested in heisting my opponent's deck. Alright, the cycle cards, that feels... Can I find something else, maybe? What do you do? Okay, well, we don't even have that anyways. What about you? What do you do? No, I don't like that. What do you do? I'm gonna not play that card, actually. Alright, let's just play more games. Let us cast more spells that might matter against the wall of green in this format. Hey, that's not green. This is kind of doing what I want to do. So, that's pretty interesting. Does this hand work? Well, kind of. It only works because my opponent has to sort of kill these. I don't have any of the busted cards. We haven't played Ancient Tomb yet. Sack a non-spirit, return a creature you control, spaghetti, flying monster. Yep, alright. Do I kill my opponent's commander immediately? One would argue that I probably should. Looks like they have mocks. Yeah, I'm gonna make them get rid of this. Oh, it could be Solitude as well. I kinda hope it's Solitude, honestly. So ideally, my commander isn't, like, super important here. As it stands, I have other things I can do, right? Yep. So they have the thing. Because why wouldn't they? Let's play this one. The blood tokens I give my opponent are actually really bad. So Or yeah, good for my opponent, I mean. Yeah. I need to draw something that matters. And I need to do it, like, immediately. Because I currently don't have anything that matters out of hand. Alright, something that matters? Of course not. Excellent. Anything I can do? Nope. Alright, well, this game is completely over. What does this do? Discard a card? Yeah, just more of that. At this point, it doesn't even matter if I give them tokens. It just doesn't matter in any way. So, should I still play this anyways? No, I'm gonna play this. I have to just beat Ulamog. Maybe they can't swing with it? That's so unrealistic. Okay, they found something that's just better than Ulamog. Yeah, me and my opponent are essentially doing the same thing, except their creatures come back with text and mine don't. Like, just full stop. Oh, they went for the one that I still... Oh, it goes to hand. Right, it goes to hand. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about it. I thought it just gets reanimated. Or it's actually even better, yeah. My opponent... We were doing the same thing, except my opponent is doing it better. Like, that's it. It's just strictly... We are a strictly worse version of what my opponent was doing. Just full stop. It extorts too? I mean, that doesn't matter. I hardly care about that. I don't think I once extorted it when I played it. It might as well not be there. It's not the same as Soren having extort. Yeah, but they're 1/1, so they're balanced. Yeah, fair enough. I actually forgot about it going to hand. I thought it just got reanimated. Yeah, they are strictly better than us. Like a direct upgrade to this commander. Feels really bad to get rid of black market connections here, but I think I do. I could also get rid of this, actually. Yeah, one of those. Am I on the play? I don't even remember. Find out in a second. Oh, we were. Alright, so Kaio's Ghost Form it is. Be gone. And also, yeah, it's just awkward to play Ghost Form when my hand is all 3 drops next turn. Let's get Emrakul, because it's the same as, not Emrakul. And then we just cast... I can victimize Emrakul. I kind of really don't think that's a good idea. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I think I'll just not do that. I can victimize for 2 things next turn. And if that doesn't work out, I can maybe do something beyond that. Who knows? There's a lot of reasons to not block. I already have a giant threat. I don't know if the second one has any meaning to you. They should block, but they would have to assess specifically something like Victimize instead of Reanimate, which would not matter. The only reason you block is specifically for this. There's also a big chance I just don't have a reanimate spell because I didn't have one last turn. Wow, they blocked? That's crazy. That's insane. Alright. This works out even better for us. Works out even better. Let me take that. This is only, what is that? 16 damage, so my life total is irrelevant this game. Just gonna do all the spaghetti. Swing with all the spaghetti. Bin. I could bin Death Shadow now. It doesn't really matter what I do whatsoever. Could just bin. We could just bin this as some kind of additional out to something random my opponent may decide to do. Let's get rid of the only thing they could do that matters, which is Damnation, get wrecked, and play this. Get Schmied. Actually, what does Damnation do? Does that? Yeah, it's sweet. This is not indestructible. Cool. Man, look at that hand. Look at that hand. Tragic. I think if I lose my board, I lose. So I don't think whatever I mill matters anyways. I am very surprised my opponent blocked. I'm incredibly surprised. That is very strange. Very strange. Like, you played it and then blocked with it? You didn't leave up Get Lost? You had Get Lost. Why didn't you just... I don't know, it was very, very weird. Like, I already had a creature in my graveyard. And, I mean, I said the only thing to play around was Victimize, but you're actually not even really playing around it, so... Very strange block. I just don't know if I agree with it. Alright, Mono Green ignores you. Do I have what it takes? I do if Cut Down does something. If Cut Down doesn't do anything, we in fact do not have what it takes. So alright. We are back on track to maybe having what it takes. It's still just mono green though, so... I can respect Wash Away. Lucky us. My opponent holding a bajillion years of priority. Fascinating. I wonder if naming Demon was just better. Because, like, playing these could matter. I don't know. Too late. That's not a forest. Fury? No, this wasn't a forest. Okay. Victimize. What is that doing? Literally nothing. So, sack my commander and then just pretend like Victimize matters. My commander will no longer matter, so stay in the graveyard. The only way it's going to matter is through Victimize. Okay, well, I'm sure they'll play a card that isn't green eventually. Very fun. Well, we did stuff, and mono green ignores you is better. In this mono green format. Didn't play a single blue or red spell. Don't blame them, but I'm still going to complain about it. Still going to complain about it. Oh boy, it's a Johnny. I see a lot of Ajani players when I play Nashi as a commander off stream. We also keep drawing the really big dumb things that don't have cycle. I continuously have an Eldrazi in my hand. That is definitely not helping me. Can I keep this at 2 lands? I mean, I have a cycle card. I'm going to try. Could have maybe just played Swamp turn whatever, but I don't know. I think I have to Fatal Push a Johnny anyways, so I don't think I can cast on anything else. I.e. their 1-drop. Okay, well, I would not Fatal Push that. Okay, so we just pass. We have 2 cyclers, 1 gets a land. Opponent, that is just not... Okay. Why didn't you cast a Johnny? Sure? Cast my commander? It creates stats that could matter. But knowing the Ajani situation, I'll probably just have Ajani flip, lose my commander, and then just lose the game anyways, and nothing I do matters. Alright, well they didn't flip the Ajani, so I guess we can keep playing. I don't have a Grim Tutor for a super spooky thing or anything like that. Oh, no, they do flip a Johnny, great, yeah. They had to LARP like they had decisions with their brain. They had to pretend like they had to think about anything. Literally everything happened, answered my commander and flipped a Johnny. Everything I said that would happen would make you immediately lose the game. It's a Change the Rocks player too, so it's definitely someone who plays a lot of Hellq. And their deck is probably just mono 2 drops. And not many things that cost more than that. Maybe Flage. It's just like the sweatiest of sweat, Ajani, when you see Change the Rocks. Well, at least I can take the 3 this time. Oh. Opponent's hand is actually just terrible. I'll take that. I do not at all care about the Reclamation Sage. It can blow one of these up, but I mean, I do have 2 of them. They can just cast their commit. It doesn't draw unless the thing... Okay. If they play that, I lose this, so I can't cast the Spectacle. Cannot cast Spectacle here. And as far as I'm to understand it, it only draws one, you know, so... Okay, silly me. Oh wait, no, it doesn't do it the second time, right? Yeah, no, it only draws the first time. So they should have held on to this until next turn. I think that was actually a mistake. I can't sit around and do nothing, so let's do this. Yeah, unless they have another way to do it, which is, you know, the only thing this deck plays, so I guess it's the most likely thing to happen, but I'm still just not really casting the Grazer there. Two lands immediately off the top with Oracle, as is tradition. So that lets me discard things. I get a treasure token. I have to get a treasure token here. Yeah. Get rid of you. It's not really any casting you. Let's do this. Let's Fatal Push Oracle. And then surely my opponent has no way to do anything. I don't know. Oh, their last card was just Primeval Titan. Silly me. My bad. Sitting over here thinking anything mattered. They got Strip Mine Shifting Woodland. Okay. Odd. Well, I can play nothing. That's cool. Very fun. Yep. Opponent's last card is the best thing in the world. Alright. I should have conceded when they were on the play with Utopia Sprawl. I'm not going to lie to you. I should have just immediately conceded. Should have just conceded. This is another hand that would be good, like, a year and a half ago. I think a hand like this would actually be really solid. But now the format doesn't let you do this. I don't know. Okay. Like a year ago, this would, or 2 years ago, this would be like a pretty solid hand, I think. Ah, yes. 1 into 3. Very fun. Alright, this commander is just terrible. Just trash. Commander is trash, but I mean, I kind of already knew that going in. It's not my opponent's fault. What is this hand really doing? Is this the one that hits you and does stuff? Yeah. I guess this is okay. Do they have the 1-drop? If they have the 1-drop on the play, it's kind of like Eureka. It's the engine gets started immediately. So it is one of those really enjoys having a 1-drop kind of commanders, and it has it. Of course it has it. And I'm going to concede. Fun. That is probably just completely unwinnable. I don't know. I'd need, like, Cut Down and Fatal Push, I think. I probably could have just mulliganed for them. I mean, I did call out the 1-drop, and then I didn't respect it with the thing. Alright, so Time to take out you and... I mean, there's not much I can do, full stop. I just can't do anything to really make this deck that much better if we're just going to play against the best things in the format the whole time. There's just no answer to that kind of thing. Like, none of... I could take out this one, maybe? Because I just can't cast it normally? And just run... I mean, it's not even going to solve anything, but... Some kind of removal, like Bitter Triumph and something on 2. I guess Heartless Act, because the tier 1 decks don't have counters like the lower tier ones. I could also just play Power Word Kill. It's an Angel, Demon, Devil. Yeah, the main one is Demon, but... What else is just completely useless? What is Emrakul doing? I can't put it in the graveyard itself. It's like just draw, discard. I can reanimate it sometimes. It is somewhat annoying to deal with. Maybe it's fine as the singular, like, giant threat. But, yeah, I mean, any threat that requires its text box is just not great. But it has won us some games. Kind of. It hasn't even, though? I mean, it has won in games where I just took my opponent's board wipe. How easily castable is this? Let's say I discount it by 5? Still not super easily castable. It could just be Gristlebrand instead in that spot. I want another removal spell anyways. Probably. Corpse of the Lost? No, I already talked about this card. I've talked about that card like 3 times. No, it's not. It is not a good card. I would full stop not recommend that card after having played as much as I have. I didn't like it to start, and I am now like it even less. I think I want a removal spell still, but maybe I can just not run one for the sake of just not running one. Was I going to add Gristlebrand? Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's just not run Gristlebrand. Soul Shatter costs 3 mana. There's unnecessary. You don't have to cast 3 mana Edicts in Historic Brawl. You have enough removal in black. You don't have to play that one. It's also not a guaranteed kill against something like Tifa. There's so much removal, you just don't have to play that. That's not in my top 20. It's probably in my top 30, though. It's probably in my top 30. It's not in the first 20, though. Not anymore. 2 years ago, though. Definitely 2 years ago. What is that doing for me? Is this doing anything this very turn? Not really. Not really. Oof. Oof. Alright. Kind of ugly. Oh yeah, this has also been just really bad. I guess I could take that out too. Well, my opponent did not do a 1 into 3. They could have and chose not to do that. Interesting. There is still no Mox here. What? Okay, well, sure. That's the kind of play we need, so we take it. It's the kind of stuff we need to see. I don't get it, but what do I know? What do I know? Again, this made no sense, I understand that. This made no sense. I did not have to do that there. Okay, Ancient Tomb Fetchland. I guess you can do weird stuff in the beginning because it doesn't matter later. That's cool. I can kill the Deathrite Shaman and then do nothing. That sounds fun. Opponent is reading Deathrite Shaman. Fascinating. Is there anything I could draw that matters here? Potentially? Okay, I didn't. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. I know it cycles itself, but it's kind of the same as just cycling it with this card. Oh yes, of course. Well, my opponent did a bunch of things early that didn't even matter. Like, all the early interaction was just irrelevant. But unfortunately, we had to sit there and watch them slowly cast removal spells just to lose to the green stuff anyways 2 turns later. There is basically no conceivable way in which I win this game. I don't think, but... Okay, so 6... do this. Get rid of you. This is basic. I think this is guaranteed to do nothing. I don't know. Let's just get rid of the land. I've already played my land for the turn, and I'm just gonna do this. I don't know. I don't think anything matters. Gitrog Monster's just winning. This needs... how many swamps? 5? You need 5 swamps to net with Cabal. Yay, we killed Gitrog Monster. Yay. Opponent surveilled on top. Whoop-de-doo. Surveilled on top and they have 7 cards in their hand. Okay, well, it would probably be a very good idea to kill that, so... Okay, I do not care about that at all. How do you have nothing? Can I play this and leave up mana? No. Let's get rid of the land? I think I get rid of the land. I don't even know... Wait, I can't cast both of the removal spells anyways. Alright. Alright. I'm just going to cast it again. At this point, I might as well. It's the last time it can really do anything, and all it would do is reanimate a 6/5 that would not kill my opponent, so... I definitely do... I need to find something to do with my commander that's not a 6/5 right now. And even if I do that, like if I find Death's Shadow, I'm still losing. I'm still losing very decisively. I'm losing rather significantly, actually. What just happened? Take action. Okay. Alright, I guess I lost the crocodile. I mean, on the bright side, it wasn't like the crocodile was doing anything. Alright, let's see if we... Let's sacrifice 2 artifacts. Maybe not what I want to do here. Oh my goodness, I won. I won the coin flip. Look at that. We did it. Sacrifice a non-token thing of their stuff. And I cannot do anything else. I'll just make a treasure token. Okay. Well, if it was winnable at one point, it probably isn't anymore. Fun. Strip Mine was such a good idea. So glad it's here. Because green decks totally needed that. Oh, this commander's just so bad. Wait, did I click keep? Okay, I think I did. Okay. Let's take the... What the heck? This is just... I don't know, I'll take the green card? I think Dark Ritual's not actually doing all that much here. So... I guess I'll just leave him with that. And taking Lightning Bolt doesn't do anything, so... Well, that's a turn late. You and Shieldred? It really, truly does not matter, so. Is this an instant? It's a sorcery. Does that change anything? No, they have double removal for my commander. I can't bail out my own commander. I can, but they can kill it twice. Yeah, they can kill it twice, so... there's not really anything I can do, like at all. I just have to eat it. Yeah, alright. That's literally the only thing I can do is eat it, so... I can force the issue, so they can't do something that might matter the turn after, that might... I don't know. Yep, I can just get both the spells out of their hand, and then I can recast it next turn, and maybe they don't do anything. I don't know. Now Dark Ritual is a problem. Now it is. It's not to say spelunking would not have been a problem, but... It's like if I didn't take spelunking, we'd just be losing a turn faster. They'd also technically draw a card. Opponent full stop didn't Dark Ritual Tiamat. Could have just done that, and they didn't. They also didn't have to Dark Ritual... Oh, did they? Okay. To me, this makes absolutely no sense. I would always just cast Tiamat. I don't get the logic. But what do I know? Let's do this. Oh, that's totally useful. Alright, well. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I feel like I'm just casting this without even hesitating. But apparently just casting it the turn after is just free enough that you don't care. My opponent was scared of, apparently, of a random 7/5 I could reanimate. Cool, look at all that losing material in the hand that I can't play against. Fun. Yep. Dark Ritual, Lightning Bolt, Spelunking. Not any single card I take does anything at all. Nope, can't keep this. Alright, if Liliana enters play, we can win. But... it doesn't matter. I mean, I have like a 10% chance to win against Tiamat, so I don't think if I was being nice to it, it would have changed anything. It's like a 1 in 10 to win that matchup. It's just a 5-color good stuff pile that's basically mono green with removal. Wait, what? Oh, I got confused. I don't think I've ever seen someone actually gemstone mine yet. They also got rid of a discard spell. Huh. Why'd they do that? Oh, they found another one. Okay, well, fair enough. Alright, looks like we lost the Liliana line. Which, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. But I still have my commander. Oh, they didn't take Liliana. Must be some other kind of thing here. Facetious is my middle name. This cycle's at 3, right? Yeah. Ancient Tomb does not do anything that makes me want to play it right now. It also doesn't make me play around Spell Pierce, so... I don't think Liliana should be in play, but there must be a removal spell for it, otherwise I just don't understand. So now they can give their Archaeologist Jace's text box, I guess. Does that even matter? Oh wait, it hits my cards, so I can't use my commander's ability anymore, I guess, as well. Well, let's do the old Plusarino. Get rid of a swamp, play Ancient Tomb. And then, yeah, that's what we did. So they have a Bestow Hasting Collect Evidence 6 card now. Yep. They can persist Jace, which is actually kind of annoying. I should probably get rid of Unearth, because I can't really do anything with the Cauldron anyways. So... okay, let's plus on... let's actually minus here. I'm gonna minus here. And then I'm just gonna kill my opponent's commander. And there's nothing my commander does. It also doesn't block anything the Phoenix can do. So I guess I just swing with it. Fatal Push does stop most persist outcome. Oh, you can't persist Jace, right? Yeah. I did give them a persist target. But I kind of really want my opponent to, like, go to bestow this thing. Ideally. I mean, killing my commander doesn't do anything. Oh, kills Liliana. Of course. Top decking like a god. Sounds about right. Top decking like an absolute god. The old 2-for-1 there. Why not? Ah, wow. Okay. I mean, again, I don't have a graveyard, so I'm a bit surprised that they're just interested in killing my commander repeatedly. It's not like I have anything I can do about it, but still kind of funny. That was a really, really good draw, maybe. Actually. I guess one deserves another. Let's take the Liliana, right? I do not at all care about the Crocodile, yeah. It's not like I'm going to cast it, so... Wow, get wrecked. Get schmeeded. I just beat, like, Grixis Control with Gemstone Caverns. Okay. I mean, that took a lot. The Brotherhood end was insane, but so was this. So we kind of just drew really one of our best cards in this exact spot for the exact amount of mana we had. This was one of, if not the best draw, so I guess we bounced right back and took it there. But we could have plussed with Liliana that turn cycle, because like Persist is basically this again. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay. It's kind of, I think, the only thing in my deck that cares about Graveyard Hate was that one. Or doesn't, excuse me, does not care about Graveyard Hate. Just like Garuda. I don't think I have any colorless threats in my deck anymore. Do I? I'm gonna just move on. This feels like a complete waste of my time. It usually is a waste of my time when I play against Fusion. Sometimes I get bailed out with complete nonsense, but I'm telling you now it's not going to happen in that with this commander. If I have Dark Ritual and I hit my opponent with a... And maybe I could have just mulliganed to 2 for, like, Dark Ritual Liliana of the Veil. Maybe something like that could get me there. Sacrifice has also just not done anything. Not, like, literally not a single game. There's a line here, but it does require Overlord to be gross. It also requires my opponent not to go 1 into 3. Well, they went 1 into 3, but they did it with a bad card, so maybe we can play the game again. Get rid of that, and then somehow make something of stuff, so I can play this. No, play this. Pass. I can sacrifice it into. Oh, this just doesn't. That doesn't really make sense though. Mm-hmm. So, do I block this? I think I have to block this. One would argue. Liliana minus? I don't even know what I don't know what I'm accomplishing here. And then I cast, alright, I'll just cast this. Oh, they got rid of Gulta. I thought they kept Gulta. Alright. It probably doesn't matter, but they did get rid of Gulta there. I would argue a little unnecessarily risky. I would have probably just kept it. I don't know. It's not like it's difficult to cast it again anyways, in all complete honesty, so. I mean, we're balancing on a knife's edge. Sure. So we have a sacrifice for 3 now. Sack it. Have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Ooh, wait, maybe I want to cast this first. And then I have 4? Do I keep it in the graveyard? I'm not going to cast it again this game, so I guess I do for Victimize. There's just no way I'm going to cast it again. And then we run out this giant thing. Weird game so far. Wouldn't really have much of a game if I had to kill the if I couldn't kill Llanowar Elves. Nine in play. I can Victimize. Actually, no, we should. Wait, what is it? How much is this? It doesn't matter. I can... I don't know. Pick this up? No, I'll just pick up Liliana. I think it still has a chance to matter, so I'm going to pick it up. Alright, just or nothing matters, of course. So let me steal my opponent's turn. No, this would still cost 7 trillion mana to activate, so that doesn't do anything. I find nothing out of the graveyard, of course. Cool. That was fun. Okay, well, I was 2 seconds away from actually turning that around. That's a beatable game. I can definitely win that. Just didn't. I said the bracers were bad. I thought I had to take these out. Bracelet. I thought I took that out. I thought I took it out. Yeah, we can cast one with nothing. I'm just sliding another land, actually. I'm also just over it. I'm just over this commander. I mean, I feel like I already played all the really good ones out of the set. There honestly weren't that many commanders to begin with, and there was like 4 that are solid. The rest are just abysmal. Alright, I'm done. All this does is lose, and I just don't feel like losing for another however long I would continue had I been winning every game. This card is just... This commander's terrible. It's truly awful. There are basically no redeeming qualities at all. Everything that this commander does is done somewhere else on another commander just better, right? There's like the black-white one that makes them a 1-mana spirit, which doesn't matter at all. It also has white in it, so it has better cards it can run. And then you have... Rezug, you have to spend mana for the creature, but the creature is harder to interact with, and it's just okay, right? I'm just kind of a fan of Rezug. I don't think Rezug's good or playable, but it's gives you vastly more resilience than this. You don't have the crazy things you do on paper. I was looking at EDH Rec, just the website, just to see, like, oh, what could I play that I'm just not on my radar, because this would like to play things that are really unique, you know, just specifically for this card. And a lot of those things, or the really good things, are not on Arena. But yeah, the new set doesn't have a lot of commanders, and I feel like I played all the good ones up front, and I wasn't even really going to play this one, but I might as well, just for the sake of doing it, say I did at least once. It's just really bad. You don't get much, like, you don't get anywhere with a 13/13 on turn 4. Or is it like Death Shadow on turn 4? You're not getting anywhere in Historic Brawl, right? And I think that's sort of the best this could possibly do, right? In isolation, quote unquote. You just like cast this and then cast that. Now, with Dark Ritual, you can do it turn 2. So, sure, I like a turn 2 Death Shadow way more, but you know what beats a turn 2 Death Shadow? A lot of things. You know, you do not win with a turn 2 Death Shadow at a full 13. You don't win with that. I don't think I ever actually did that specifically on turn 2. I think the fastest was turn 3 with Chrome Mox, but that's not winning the game. So, it's just not great. You don't have red for like faithless looting effects. This commander would love those kinds of cards. That's why I had this in here. There's a few more versions of this card. These are really not the same as faithless looting, but they're kind of doing the thing you like. Grief is very good with all the cheat death effects. You'd be pretty good with trample, double strike, and hit. Yeah, Teamer Battle Rage. Then you just one-shot your opponent, right? There is the card that had been brought up 25 times, and after having played as much as I just did, I actually like it less than was it this thing? Yeah. This gives your skeletons haste, and sure, in that ideal world where you have your turn 2 or turn 4, let's say, Death Shadow, this doesn't give haste to the thing. Like, you have to play this card, right? You're not going to have a turn 2 Death Shadow because you had to play this. So, yeah, you can give it haste, but it shows up a turn later. So it didn't actually have haste. You have to slow yourself down a turn to literally cast this card. It's just not good. It is not good in this commander at all. It has no redeeming qualities. Do not play this. Play something that's just worth reanimating, or something that helps you maybe discard, or actually just a removal spell, more tutors. 5-mana reanimate spells might belong in here, or at least the 4-mana one. I think we have Zombify. I'd probably play Zombify instead of Skelify. It's Zombify, but that's fine. I ended up taking out the giant things that kind of really only existed because they had text on them, and then turning them into a skeleton. Like, it's great that you have this maybe somewhat early 13/13 Emrakul with no text, but there's already enough fairly sizable things you can do that just put themselves in the graveyard. Like, this cycles away, this cycles away, this cycles away. Like, this is just okay enough, and it's vastly more in on this, without needing to Thoughtseize myself, or just simply mill the cards. I would not recommend, and I'm just not a fan of stuff like Stitcher Supplier. I just don't like that card. I would not play it here. Overlord was actually kind of questionable itself. It did pick up Liliana a few times, which is funny. But yeah, this strategy as a whole is done better in other commanders, and I would just recommend that to do that instead. We also had a major issue where I just was pitted against the strongest things in the format, which I don't know how long we can even consider them quote-unquote the strongest, as it's slowly just becoming the average thing you see in Historic Brawl. So there's just a wall of things like, the red-white Ajani, I suppose, was a non-green one. If I name any of them and they have green in them, it's basically the same thing, right? Azusa, Omnath, the 4 Jund ones, it doesn't matter. They're green. They're all doing the same thing in the first few turns. The other colors are completely irrelevant. I mean, you would rather have them than not. You have, like, Dark Ritual and Thoughtseize and stuff you could play instead of Llanowar Elves, but still, it's just like the green thing. If you're not good against the green thing, then you're just not good in general. And I assume this doesn't have a deck weight because it's brand new, so it's going to be pitted against the sweatiest of things, which it was. I saw the sweatiest of things there, so that's just another thing that makes it very difficult, or if not outright impossible, to truly play. It's just hard. Another issue is I didn't feel like, unlike Celeste, which I keep going back to Celeste, I love this commander. Where is it? Where are you? I don't actually know what version I have looming in here, this pile right now. It looks like the Persist combo. Yeah, alright, it's the combo one. But like, this can just do what we were trying to do with Resiliency. This one actually does not have Mana Rocks. Yeah, this one didn't. You don't have to play Mana Rocks with this commander. Again, there's over 400 cards you can play with this commander. This commander is excellent. So many cool things you can do with it. This one, you're just not Yeah, I actually brought that one up to use it as an example of Mana Rocks, but it actually doesn't have Mana Rocks in it. Not that iteration. Mana Rocks get in the way of accomplishing anything that cares about your commander, except like the Celestius. Like you could play this one because it does the draw discard thing. I probably want this instead of the Collector's Vault. Maybe both were okay. Key to the Archive can also discard something. Random sporadic Mana Rocks I'm not a fan of. I'm usually, you play a certain amount or you just don't play any is kind of where I stand with them. I don't like, oh, we have Arcane Signet and that's it. Yay. Like, it, to me, doesn't really add up. There's an exception to probably Jet Medallion, right? I wasn't running Jet Medallion. You could run Jet Medallion. It does not fundamentally change any of the issues that this deck is presented, but if you have Jet Medallion, I can't say you're too upset with it, right? It doesn't necessarily advance you to anything that this itself cares about. You could still just play it for the sake of it, but still, I don't know. The ramp just gets in the way of accomplishing anything that this wants you to try to do. So, yeah, I don't like the first two Mana Rocks. It's really like all in or not. I'm just not really a fan of the intermediate. I mean, we still had, like, Ancient Tomb and whatchamacallit, the other one. I did finally win a coin flip, so the 3-month hiatus of winning a coin flip, we're finally over it. I got a treasure token off this card. That's pretty cool. Huge fan of the Spectacle still. The card advantage is not necessarily an issue. The jank 4-mana scary damage-dealing flyers, they're not really going to kill anybody in Historic Brawl before your opponent just kills you with anything, really. They don't have to kill you via damage. They could just kill you having a commanding board presence or major card advantage, and then you're like, you swung with, I don't know, let's say this, where is it? This one. I love this one. I love this card. It's not good, but I love it. You hit them twice with this, and then they stopped caring, or like they start sacking things to it, and it doesn't do anything anymore, or you hit them, let's say, 4 times with it, and they're at 1, and then they just kill you with vomit value that now you're just not accomplishing anything, right? This isn't aggressive enough to warrant your opponent really being concerned with it, in my opinion. So this just doesn't seem like a viable option or avenue for this commander. I would say these were just probably wrong, because, again, they don't upfront pressure enough, and reanimating a 6/6 at some point in the moderate future is also not that scary for opponents. Like, let's say you play your commander, and then you play one of these next turn, and then it swings twice, and then your opponent kills it, and you create a skeleton out of it, and it's just a 6/6 chilling in play. It lost flying, but it lost the other bad part of the text box, and now you're swinging with this 6/6. Your opponent probably doesn't care, right? They just don't care. Maybe like a Grixis control deck would, with just 1-for-1 removal spam and no damnation or anything like that. They could care, but other than that, not really. It is a little odd that this does make skeletons and doesn't do the skeleton thing. It would be really interesting. In fact, I would actually find it playable if it had the... Because skeletons regenerate. And because we've had a wall of like weird non-real cards like Alchemy Jank in this game, I'm surprised that they didn't make this give the text box or replace it with Perpetual. Okay, if it had to be a real card, it can't have Perpetual. But if it just gave it Regenerate, pay 2, like Reassembling Skeleton, or Regenerate, pay 3 or something, on the skeletons you make, because, it's pulling the flesh off and it's taking the bones. It's kind of weird that you reanimate it and then it stays as a skeleton in play and it dies and it's not a skeleton anymore. You can actually just reanimate it for real with something like Reanimate or Zombify. It's just kind of weird how that works, but it is what it is. I really think they should have given the skeletons Reanimate. I mean, that's kind of... Or Regenerate, because that's just the thing skeletons do. And I kind of disappointed in that. I don't even think that makes this busted. It puts it kind of on par with something like asceticism in your command zone, sort of. Asceticism is really good, but it's also in green, which is categorically different than mono black. So I don't think it would break this card. I think this needed more time in R&D of it. That's what I think. I really believe it needed something. Maybe they were just scared to put additional stuff on a scary thing, but for this platform, I just don't think you could pull it off. In EDH, it looks like people are trying, and there's ideas that it does that can sort of look scary, but raw stats with no additional things on them is just the most bare bones, no pun intended, thing you can do, and just in general, right? Like it's just so it's the bare minimum of anything, just like raw stats with no trample menace, or the cards can't draw you cards, or they're just big stat sticks. That's all it is. It's just really bare minimum, and as I'm sure anybody who plays this format for a little bit knows, that is not going to get you anywhere. Unless you're like some kind of hyper aggro deck, which this wasn't. So probably the best idea is to go in the Gix route, where you play a bunch of the 1, 2, 3 mana creatures, have the Gix style thing going with like Sephiroth and whatnot, and then this is just value beats, where you randomly make skeletons out of things like 3/3s and 2/2s. Feels tremendously ugly, but I suppose the skeleton haste enchantment would be back on the table if you went that route, because this route was just awful. So I can't recommend this at all. And in that shell that I'm describing, you could just simply play Gix or Sephiroth instead, because it's like the same 99, but your commander is just kind of worse for some reason, with the off chance that you reanimate one of your earlier threats that died, and you can maybe swing with it again, and with like Blood Artist effects, if that creature does die again, that actually has solid play to it. So yeah, there's probably something there with the Blood Artist smaller creature package, and just try to swing at your opponent with a bunch of 1 and 2 and 3 drops, and not try whatever this is. But that's all I've got for you. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.